Peaceful protests turned violent in Ferguson, Missouri on the one-year anniversary of Michael Brown's death. Gunshots erupted late Sunday night as tensions between police and demonstrators escalated. Police returned fire, badly wounding one of the shooters. He is now in critical condition. Don Champion has the latest from Ferguson.
We just want to be as patient as possible.
Message to those who are looting.
The gunfire interrupted an interview with Ferguson's interim chief of police, Andre Anderson. Police and members of the media took cover behind vehicles. St. Louis County Police say this video shows two groups firing at one another. People who were in the area shielded themselves from the gunfire. Chief John Belmar estimated there were 40 to 50 shots fired.
That was an exchange of gunfire between two groups. It was a remarkable amount of gunfire.
Amateur video shows this man, identified as Tyrone Harris Jr., laying face down.
Hey, bleeding, get him some help, man. Please get him some help.
Police said plainclothes detectives were tracking him after the earlier shooting. It was in a parking lot where they say he pointed and fired his gun.
He engaged the officers at the time. There were 4 officers who were in that van. All 4 fired at the suspect, and the suspect fell there.
The violence came 1 year to the day of the death of Michael Brown Jr.
It is time for us to not seek justice, but demand justice.
More than 1,000 people marched in the neighborhood where the 18-year-old was killed. Michael Brown Sr. spoke about his last year of grief.
He made the movement to open up eyes to help other families.
Yes.
You know, I still look at it, yeah, I lost, but he's still working.
Don Champion joins us now from Ferguson. Don, what's the latest?
Well, overnight, just a few hours ago, we did learn that the suspect, the man who was shot, Tyrone Harris, at last check, was listed in critical condition at a nearby hospital after undergoing surgery. We did learn some rather interesting information about him. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch newspaper here did speak to Tyrone Harris's father overnight, and the father told him that his son and Michael Brown Jr. were, quote, real close. We should mention, though, Vlad, that the 4 officers involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave.
Don, you're there in Ferguson. Given that it's the anniversary of the shooting of Michael Brown, what's the tone in the community now?
It's safe to say, I think, that this is not how anyone wanted August 9th, 2015 to end. You know, this weekend there were plenty of very peaceful marches and gatherings all across this town. There were a lot of activists who came here to town as well. So I do believe that the shooting and really brought up some very bad memories of this time last year. I should also mention that there was a lot of misinformation going around on social media right after the shooting, and that sort of fed some of the initial anger over this. There were also some reports from people down on Canville that some officers did tear gas them. So it's safe to say this is not the way that this day was supposed to end.
Don, you and I were there a year ago today. You've been back many, many times since then. What is the police reaction or the police relation with the community now?
You know, I spoke yesterday to Captain Ron Johnson with the Missouri Highway Patrol, and he said, you know, there have the work of bridging the divide between the police here and the community has started, but there is still a lot of work to be done. And I think a lot of people here will admit that to you. We spoke to a young man yesterday who was not very optimistic back in October when it came to seeing a better relationship with police. We interviewed him yesterday, and he said that, you know, there is some progress that's taking place here. And so I should mention also that overnight police were very quick in releasing photos of those cars that those officers were in that had bullet holes in them, and they were very quick in holding an overnight press conference to get as much information out as possible as a way of sort of quelling any anger over this shooting.
Don Champion reporting from Ferguson. Don, thanks.